Hello and welcome back to Real Life. This is Danny Jovica, and today we're here to review the new FLAST-AI version 7 release, which is jam-packed with new features that are game-changing for anyone involved in family law, whether you're a lawyer or whether you're a self-represented litigant. This is for you. Let's take a look. I'm going to just log in. Okay, now once we're logged in, we can see a menu on the left-hand side with all the various features and settings and things. And we're greeted with a screen where you're able to upload a file, a audio or a video file. And you can click on transcribe the uploaded file, and it will extract the text for you and also give you a summary. I'm not going to run through that feature because that feature's been there before. We're going to go straight into the settings for the time being. In settings, we're going to create a new database called test. And that's how easy it is to create a database within the system. And you can switch between them by just clicking the tick mark there. Now, we're going to upload some information into that new database. We're going to click on browse here. And from browse, I'm going to output in a file, an affidavit that we've clean the data out of it and sanitize it, so all the names and circumstances are changed, so that way it's fine to use here for our test purposes. Under normal circumstances, previously the system would end here. What we see next is it's creating an index and it's creating a knowledge graph. There's two extra levels of embedding your data into the database, where now you have a database, an index that matches that database, and then a knowledge graph that links all the relationships in that data. The reason that enhances the results is it means that we can extract things very accurately and pinpoint reference everything. Okay, so now that we've uploaded the data there, we're going to look at the next feature. And in doing so, we're going to click on Quiz Lexi Mind. So here we are in Quiz Lexi Mind, and you have three options here: Quiz Law, Quiz My Case, and IRAC. So we're going to start with Quiz Law, and I'm just going to ask it, for the time being, tell me the facts. So the system itself now, you can see it's using the database index, so it's looking at the indexed information. It's now processing the query, reading the database, extracting that information. In the top right hand corner, you can see it's running, and what you're seeing here is real time. So how long it takes now for the result to come on the screen is exactly the time that you will experience when using this system. So this is live, and you can see we already have the key facts of the case. We have the parties involved, the relationship history, custody and parental responsibilities, etc. All those details are there. All right. A new feature in version 7, however, is we can click on Learning Database. And by clicking on Learning Database, we can see that that is saved to that database. So now the information stored is this information here is actually stored in a separate database, which is used for learning purposes. It's used to fine-tune FLAST-AI to your case. So every time you ask a question, and it doesn't matter what document you're looking at, you have that base data of what it's learned, and it really fine-tunes the results and the accuracy of the information that you get here. So let's take a look at the next section, Quiz My Case. I'm going to just click on there, and we're going to go tell me the issues. And the reason I always start with facts and issues is that's what the court does. Court looks at what is the facts of the case, what are the issues involved, what's the applicable law. This is, the court's decision as to what the outcome should be. So that's why we look at the facts and issues as a starting point, especially if I'm demonstrating something like this. So again, that's how that all happened real time. Here are the issues, all under various headings here. And again, we can just go straight to the bottom and save that to our learning database. Now, this information, if you wanted to use it, you could, just copy and paste that by, selecting this information and inserting it into a document of some sort. But for the time being, we're going to keep going here and click on IRAC mode. IRAC is a predictive analysis mode. So here we're going to go based on the facts and issues, conduct a predictive analysis, show your reasoning and justification for your conclusions. Right, so that's what we're asking it to do. In this case, we can already start to utilize the personalized database as well, because that's already got some data in it. So now when we click on submit, what you're going to see here is when I scroll down, using databases with indexes, so we're using the test database, which is the one that we just uploaded, the affidavit, and the personalized learning data. So the personalized learning data is already extracting those key facts, key issues, and the system is also looking back at that affidavit as well. So it's getting more detailed, more fine-tuned data. Here's the key findings. The question was to predict an outcome. So here's the key findings. Parental dynamics. The father has a documented history of domestic violence against the mother. This history is critical. So it's basically looking at the findings, predicting an analysis and conclusions, custody arrangements. It's highly probable that the court will favor increasing Charlie's custodial time with Susan. Shared parental responsibility. So it gives you all the things, the key factors in this case that it's looked at, and it gives you a conclusion. We can again click into learning and save that to the learning database. This is also useful, if you're a lawyer, for example, and you've uploaded, a case, and then the client calls, you can quickly jump on here before you take the call or before you make the call. Tell me the facts and issues, and it'll just refresh your memory of the case as well. So it's quite a useful tool in that way as well. But it's querying the personalized learning data here. This is the only database that we've selected here, and you can see it's remembered all of the facts, all of the issues that are relevant, and the conclusions that were drawn from that. So as you keep going, as you keep adding information to this, it becomes a highly specialized database for each case. So if you in future run queries and you go to the settings and you go back into your actual knowledge database, we can click on there, and we're in that test database. We go back into LexiMind. In future, what we want to do is always have that learning database as a second reference. So that means whatever information that we're querying. As an example, you load in a court report, okay, and you're querying the court report, but it's against the information known, and that information that AI has got there is clearly summarized in specific legal context and detail. So that when the issues are highlighted, it's quite specific in the way it's highlighted. So the AI can quickly look at that context in light of the case. So that's the feature there. It helps continual learning of the case as you're going and as you're using it. So this way, your client gets maximum benefit, or you can paint your case. If you're a self-represented litigant, you can paint your case in the best possible light for the court. Okay, let's have a look at analysis combined. This feature allows you to compare two databases. So in this case, we're going to look at the test data, which is the affidavit, of course, and we're going to compare it to the FLAST cases data. From the test data, we're going to extract facts and issues relating to the ICL. That's all we want to do. We're going to get that information out of that database. And here we want to, based on the information received, identify relevant case law involving ICLs. So now when we click on submit, we have the analysis combined system. You can see up the top here it's running, and down below here we're analyzing the database. This is the actual test database that's being analyzed, just for reference there. Again, this is all real time, so the delay that we have in the information appearing on the screen is not too long, but it might take a minute or up to a minute to do this type of an analysis, because it's a deep analysis, or a quite intensive analysis. The first part's completed, and you can see sending to second selected database. Okay, so we're sending the information received from the first one to the second one for the context or comparison. Okay, so here it's looking for that case law. So in a second we're going to see that what the result is, and it'll appear on this side here. And here's the results now. So we can see the key facts and issues were sent with a conclusion, and here it's an overview of the case, and the relevant case law it's found is Maddock Wilding, Cannon, Corey Petrie number 2, and Kafla Magan. Now these cases, these are all in the FLAST database. So if you're a lawyer watching this, you're going to look at that and think, what is this? What are these cases? And these cases are coming straight out of the FLAST database, and that is a database of all relevant, all cases coming out of the family court for the last few years. And the FLAST database is a database of cases coming out of the family court in recent years. So these are the relevant ones is 2021 and 2022 years, and it's illustrating cases that are not only involving an ICL, but in relation to similar issues that are being found in this particular case. And we can look up these cases on FLAST, and you'll see that they will appear there with links to Osley and the actual judgments and stuff like that. Okay, so that is the analysis combined. So you can see the power of that system, and you can ask any number of different combinations of questions where you might compare one affidavit to another affidavit. You might compare an affidavit to an expert report, any type of comparison of data, and that's where this will be used. And importantly, at the bottom here, we can save the initial response, we can save the final response, or we can save both responses. And if we're saving both, it's going by saving both, that's all being saved to the learning database again. Okay, so let's now have a look at deep research mode. So in this mode, where, as it suggests, it's doing some deep research. In the query, you can give it additional context about what you want the research to be about. So we're going to just say, based on the information, facts, and issues, conduct a case analysis and provide me a report. I'm going to click on start. So I'm clicking on start deep research. You can see it's initiating the deep research here. The deep research that you want done in your case is only limited by your imagination, really. If there's a specific aspect of your case, if there's a question of law in your case that you're not sure of, or you're not sure the best way to handle it, if you're looking for how to make a submission, this is the place to go. That deep research analysis will give you the report on your case in a very in-depth way. Now, you might see here initiating deep research. This may take several minutes. So it was looking for and preparing the case specific context. So it took the information out of the database. It's starting the deep research with that context now, and conducting deep research with a reasoning model. So what does that mean? It means that a reasoning model is an AI that is not only researching, but it's understanding what it's finding and giving it context, and applying that knowledge to that information. It's also has internet access. So when it's doing that research, it's going out to the internet. So this process, unlike the previous modes that might take 20 seconds to get a result, or 30 seconds, or a minute in analysis combined, deep research mode takes minutes, not seconds. So it's still going. I'll be back when the results are in. So here you can see that the deep research has been completed. The research question analysis, examination of the facts and issues, Family Law Act. So he does an analysis of the Family Law Act. Says, okay, you're looking at section 60 CC, 61 DA, 65 DAA. So these are the sections that are relevant to this case. He says, hey, there's some regulations that are applying. Regulation 15A, admissibility of evidence. Regulation 25C, guidance on the appointment of an ICL. That's relevant because of the ICL question before. Federal Circuit Court rules. If you're in Division 2, these are the rules that apply. If you're in Division 1, these are the rules that are applying. The case analysis, so it does an analysis of the case. Says, okay, well, you got Good and Good applying, Maluka applying, McCall versus Clark. These are key precedent cases that any lawyer here who's watching will be instantly aware of those cases and the significance of those cases. Comprehensive legal analysis. It does a legal analysis and has a conclusion and gives you all the citations and references and sources of information. So that report now, you can either export it as a text, export it as a JSON format. JSON is for if you want to import into another AI for further research or development. You can start a new research, or we can save this research to the research database, to our learning database. So I've chosen to save it to the learning database, and we're going to have a look at that now. If we have the AI personalized learning data as the active database, this is your learning database. If I quiz that database now, and I ask it, tell me the facts and issues, just to show you what is it able to retrieve, right? So here we're quizzing we're back into Quizlexi Mind, and I'm just verifying that the previous saves of information that we've saved to this database, we can see what comes up now. So here it is. It's got the facts, it's got the issues, and it's got a conclusion. So you can see it's remembered what we've previously told it. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into settings, and I'm going to go back into our test data, which is this one here. That's our test data system here, which is that affidavit. I want to go now into drafting desk. And in drafting desk, this is a fantastic new feature that we've got. I want you to picture your case from day one. When you just started uploading information into it, right? Now, in this case, I'm going to use it. The example I'm going to use is affidavit, but I'm going to just show you can create a submission, a letter, an outline, a chronology, or other type of document. The type of document that you create is up to you. For this purpose, we're going to create an affidavit. And I'm going to go into a detailed format, so that it'll use a format like what you see down here in the template. Now, just what you can do is you can edit the template before creating, where you can pre-populate some information if you wanted to, or you can just leave it as it is and let AI do that for you. And that's what we're going to do this time. We're going to go AI generated outline, and you're going to say, okay, you represent the respondent, based on the facts and issues, create an affidavit outline. Now, you always have to start with an outline. You're not AI. We're not yet at the stage where you're going to just go create an affidavit, click, and it just magically creates the whole thing for you. We're going to start with an affidavit outline. I'm going to show you why. So when I click on generate outline, it is now looking at the document content. The document content that we're relying on is the active database, which is the test data here. And as it's generating the content, it's going to sit here and twirl here, and you see the little running up there. So it's generating the content for us. And here it is. The document's been generated, AI generated document. It's been saved, passed into 11 sections, and the document editor will appear below. And now we scroll down and we have the document editor. And look at this. You got introduction, background of the relationship. So when I click on background of the relationship, the content appears here. Now, in this section here, if you want to go down here, edit. If you want to edit what it says there, and I'm going to just put some exclamation marks and save, just to show you that it's now saved up there. You can edit that there. If I go into child's welfare and best interests, so now it's going to switch to looking at that as the content. Child's welfare and best interest is loaded, and it's got a little introduction to that. And this is what we said before. It's an outline. That is obviously nowhere near the content that you want in your actual affidavit. But look at this. Expand with RAG. And expand on this section 3, child's welfare and best interests. Identify all relevant facts to insert into the affidavit to support the respondent's position. Expand section. But now what we're doing is we've created our outline here, and now we're getting AI to go back to your database, back to that information all about you and all about your case, and it's now going to extract the specifics on child welfare and best interests that is related to your case. So here we've got an expand, and it's looking at the database, extracting that information, and now it's going to insert it into the database. It's going to insert it into that section in the format that you want. So let's just have a wait and see what comes up. So that was successfully expanded. You can see here that question, expand on section is there. Now we can go and edit the content and have a look at what it's got now. So previously, all we had was this one little paragraph. Now we've expanded on that, so we can just take off that heading, and we see. Let's have a look at what it's come up with. I firmly believe that the best interests are paramount. I've observed firsthand how my presence positively influences Charlie's emotional well-being. in terms of education. I've been proactive in supporting Charlie's learning. Moreover, I'm deeply committed to Charlie's health and well-being. Charlie, so it's got all the additional information there that's come from that database. I'm going to just save those changes and move to another section where we've got specific information about an ICL and concerns about an ICL. I'm going to expand that with RAG. Expand on this section, concerns regarding the independent ICL. Identify all concerns about the ICL's conduct. Pinpoint reference where possible. Pinpoint reference where possible. Expand the section. So now it's looking at the database, looking at the information that you've previously had about the ICL and etc. It's generating the enhanced content. It's retrieving the relevant context and generating the expanded content. So when it generates, you're going to see you'll have the original content there, which you see here ends in the words community health. And the expanded content will come underneath it. So you're going to have a section there that you can now edit. And you can imagine as we're going here through these sections, day by day, you can refine and refine and refine. So when it comes time to submit your affidavit, at the end of this process, it's already all done. You're going to just go. So here's the expanded section now. Let's have a look at that. Edit content. So there's concerns about the impartiality. I observed the ICL claims based on subpoena material from Community Health Service, etc., etc. Moreover, the ICL has expressed that having both parents involved in Charlie's medical care is leading to excessive appointments. So it's covering all the issues in relation to that ICL. So now if I save those changes, that information now becomes part of your affidavit there. And you can get in there and edit it and fine tune it at any point in time. But the point is, as you're going here, you can update all of this information. Let's say a family report is done. All you need to do is upload it to the database, make it the active part, the active database, come back in here and find the section on family report or where the family report may be relevant, and you get the AI to extract information from the report, put it into the system, and pinpoint reference what paragraph it came from out of the report. How easy is that? Okay, so back to our drafting desk. And let's say we want to go back into a document and continue editing down the track. We're going to scroll down and continue an existing document. Here's that affidavit that we had before. And let's say we want to add a new section. We've got sections here in the database. We want to just add a new section. Let's see, educational development. Although we've got educational development there already, I want to just create a new section called schooling. So section title is schooling. And then you can insert wherever you want to insert it. You can tell the AI. So let's say I'm going to be putting an insert before educational development. And the initial content is schooling, is all I'm going to put in there. Add section. Okay, so section 9, schooling, has been created. And now we're going to expand with RAG. So expansion query is insert all relevant information about schooling. pinpoint reference where possible, citing paragraph numbers and documents. Now, I know in this case we don't have paragraph numbers or documents to cite, so because we're only using the one document that we're really relying upon. If you had multiple documents in the database, if you had a specific document in the database, such as a court report or something like that, then that's going to be very useful to have pinpoint references to what particular paragraph you're talking about. So if you load up any information into the database, let's say, for example, you have a report from Child Protective Services, and you want to pinpoint reference that report, it'll extract exactly what paragraph it found it in and stuff like that. So anyway, right now we're expanding on the new section that we created. That's done now. So now we can go and edit that content, and we can, so basically here was the question, right? It's we can get rid of all of that. It's having an introductory paragraph here. You might edit that and decide whether that's necessary because we're in a section itself. So for example, we might just take out that and go, I have observed significant challenges in Charlie's educational journey that I believe is critical to understanding his well-being and development. Before the unfortunate events surrounding the father's assault and abduction of Charlie, we had mutually agreed that Charlie was not ready to begin school in 2021. At the end of 2020, Charlie had only attended 4-year-old kindergarten for a mere 9 days. During his primary school interview, and look at the data it's getting. Look at the detail it's getting. It's picked up that he was in preem school only for a mere 9 days. It's picked up the specific date of the 15th of October here. It's picked up very detailed information that there's going to be an assessment for ASD and an auditory assessment. Despite the professional advice, you can see the detail it's added in here into that one section that we've just created that didn't exist a second ago. So we save changes here, and that's now been saved to the database. We can also, you can save it to your learning database as well, but I don't recommend we do that until you've got a complete document, and then that one goes into your learning database. I just want to remind you as well that if we go into create a new document, there's all different types of documents that we can do. Okay, so that's an overview of FLAST-AI version 7, game-changing in family law. If you like what you see and you want a personal demonstration, just click on the links provided to schedule a free Zoom demonstration for yourself on your use case, on your data. Happy to do that for you. If you're a law firm and you want a demonstration of this system at firm level where you can have multiple lawyers accessing it and each lawyer has their own systems that they've got for their own clients, we can do that demonstration for you. Let me know if you're interested. Look forward to talking to you all soon. Cheers.